5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
This is About Space, America's return to space, with news and information on our U.S. space program. Is your host of About Space, David Denault.
Welcome, and thanks for joining me today. Well, on Thursday, an 82-year-old Aviator was confirmed as a member of the Blue Origin's first crewed New Shepard mission, slated to launch on July the 20th. Wally Funk, a famous aviator who pushed for female inclusion in NASA's astronaut training programs for decades, will join billionaire Jeff Bezos later this month on a brief flight to the edge of space. In 1962, she would join NASA's astronaut training in the Mercury program. 13 women, known as the Mercury 13, completed their tests before funding was cut. And just how did this youngest of the 13 learn of this opportunity? Next on About Space today. Hey moms and dads, it's the good old summertime, a time to come to the beach. Cocoa Beach, just minutes from the Kennedy Space Center. Stay any Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights for just $215 per person. That's $215 for 4 days and 3 nights at the Best Western, directly on the ocean and walking distance to the pier, including our buffet breakfast daily and 2 tickets to the Kennedy Space Center complex. This is an Entour's exclusive promotion for About Space today by calling 877-747-8631. That's 877-747-8631. This is a limited time promotion, so book early and come on down to see the Space Coast. Welcome back. So just how did this youngest of the Mercury 13 learn of this opportunity?
Well, back in about 62, a friend of mine called and said, Wally, do you want to be an astronaut? And I said, yes, of course. I said, okay, get a hold of Dr. Lovelace. So I wrote to him, called him. He communicated back, be here in 2 weeks on a Monday, and we'll start your tests. Then I was at that time a flight instructor for the Army at Fort Sill. And I had to drive home to Taos, New Mexico, which is my hometown. And with my parents, they drove me to Albuquerque, which is about 3 hours away. And they had to sign me in to the front desk at the Lovelace Clinic so that I could take those tests. And I was underage. And that didn't bother me a bit. I said, well, I'll do that. No big deal. So then we started tests.
And after all the tests she's been through, Funk says she still wants to go into space.
I listened to the spirit of that Taos Mountain. I knew what I wanted to do. Since I took those tests with Lovelace, yes, I wanted to go into space. I thought that would be great. Moon and Mars didn't even exist. Later on in my life, I knew I wanted to go up to International Space Station, ISS. When I tried to apply to NASA, they said, Wally, you don't have an engineering degree. I said, well, one of the other astronauts doesn't have one either. Oh, but he's flown jets. Oh, well, okay. The 60s were terrible. But I still made it to everything I wanted to go. After the tests were canceled, which everybody says, was I disappointed? Well, yeah, sure. But it didn't ruin my life. Nothing has ever bugged me. I have done everything the way I want to do it correctly. Never had a problem, never had an accident. None of my students have had an accident. In flying, I've over 19,500 flight hours, which is more than most captains have. I knew that I would go on because I went to, I wasn't even disappointed. I knew that Taos Mountain taught me, you have to continue going on. I went to different colleges, different medical places to keep getting more and more tests so that I could make what it takes to go. And I proved that.
And indeed she is. Well, the July 20th launch is the first crewed mission flying the New Shepard, the 60-foot rocket from West Texas, to the edge of space. Her host, Jeff Bezos, asked her when she lands, just meet the real 82-year-old astronaut-to-be.
You're in zero gravity for 4 minutes. You come back down. We land gently on the desert surface. We open the hatch and you step outside. What's the first thing you say?
I will say, honey, that was the best thing that ever happened to me. I've been flying forever, and I have 19,600 flying hours. I have taught over 3,000 people to fly, private, commercial, instrument, flight engineer, airline transport, gliding, everything that the FAA has, I've got the license for. And I can outrun you. Back in the 60s, I was in the Mercury 13 program. They asked me, do you want to be an astronaut? I said, yes. They told me that I had done better and completed the work faster than any of the guys. So I got a hold of NASA 4 times. I said, I want to become an astronaut, but nobody would take me. I didn't think that I would ever get to go up. Nothing has ever gotten in my way. And they said, Wally, you're a girl, you can't do that. I said, guess what? Doesn't matter what you are. You can still do it if you want to do it. And I like to do things that nobody has ever done.
We're going to fly you up into space on the very first flight. That's your
I can't tell people how fabulous I feel to have been picked by Blue Origin to go on this trip.
You're going to be an astronaut.
Oh, finally! And I'll love every second of it. Woo! Ha ha! I can hardly wait.
Well, I'm sure it's going to be lots of fun. And Funk will occupy the role of honored guest on the 11-minute flight, and if everything goes according to plan, fulfill a lifelong dream. Be sure to have your family and friends listen each Tuesday with me on About Space Today, and Fridays in America in Space with Dawn Meyer from Florida's Space Coast. For space news and information and updates, follow us on Facebook at aboutspace.today. And to all our listeners and friends around the globe and here in the U.S., thank you for listening. I'm David Denault, and this has been About Space Today.